Time to break out the saw. Part 1, bench work. All aboard. Howdy folks. This is not intended to be a woodworking shop. I'm just going to show you. This is where I sit. This is what I elected to build and how I elected to build the basic 4x8 sheet of plywood for the Grand Valley. Okay, this is about to get modified, but I thought I would show you this first and give you some kind of information that may be helpful for you. Basically, there are 2x4 legs. I wanted some strength on the legs, so I used 2x4s. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 2x4s, and I thought I would keep the weight down, and I would use a 1x4s for the fascia around the edge just to make it look a little bit better. And on the top, I didn't want the thick 3/4 inch stuff, so I got the 15/32, which is the 1/2 inch plywood for the top. You'd be surprised to know that I weighed this table, and this table, just with the legs, the bracing underneath, which is only a couple of 2x4s lengthwise and one across the middle, the fascia in the top is 120 pounds. Now, one person can scoot this thing around, but if you're needing to move this thing quite a bit, you might want to come up with another option like this right here. And I got my box of them right here. I had these in my cart in Amazon for the last 2 years. I finally pulled the trigger on it. Okay, it was suggested that that you add a 2x6, which is actually 1 3/4 by 5.5. Add that to the side of the track here, and so you would need 3 long 2x6s, and I was going to add, you can add there's people that added 8, 10, and I wanted a little bit more, so I was going to a 2x12 on the front. And as I was trying to lift this 2x12 up, I figured that this may not be the lightest method to add to this. I actually weighed the 2x12 that I'm going to need for the front edge and the 2x6s that I would need to do the expansion on this track. And the 2x12 by itself weighed 60 pounds. And that was an 8 foot 2x12. On the back side, I was going to need a 2x6 that was 30 pounds. And on the sides, I was going to need 30 pounds, probably between the two. And then whatever bracing, it was going to be the same bracing either way of 2x4s. I was going to need 5 2x4s. Those are 8 pounds a piece. That's another 40 pounds. And then to put this fascia back on so that it looks good and it's just not boards hanging out there, there's going to be another 16 pounds. Using big lumber to do the expansion around it was basically going to raise the weight of this table from 120 up 180 more pounds. So you're looking at 300 pounds for just the table. So I elected to go this method. So my lighter alternative is to use the same 1/2 inch plywood that's 12 inches on the front, 6 on the sides, back, and on the other side. And this, I went to Lowe's. It's a 1/2 inch plywood, and they actually cut it for me in the store. And I got 1 12 inch and 5 6 inch. Okay, I elected to leave my original 1x4s on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, this is how I elected to make it, 2x4 with the 6-inch extension on top of it. I left my gap for my fascia boards, and let's put it on there. The 6-inch sides are officially on. Here's my 6 inches there. And there. Got the front on now, my extra 12 inches. And same thing, it's on the back side. Sides, 2 sides. In the back. And as of right now, I weighed each one of these sections, and this front was 21. Each of these side panels were 12. 12 there, 12 there, and the back was 16 for a total of 61 pounds extra in the shelves. That's less than what just the 2x12 would have weighed. So 61 pounds, and then the 2x4s that I added was 1, 2, 3 2x4s at 8 pounds a piece, 24 pounds, for a total of about 85 pounds. About 85 pounds total I've added to it. This has officially become a large train set, I believe. But it's going to cure some ills, and I think it's time that I can no longer move this thing by myself. So I'm going to go ahead and put my wheels on. These jacking up casters, here's the components. This is just the lift. This is the lift with the wheel in there. They give you this little gizmo here, and basically you just do what it says. Center this up. It's got 4 holes there for the mounts, and there's the floor. You know, to measure it, you just stick it on here, and I poke some holes in there, and I'll put these mounts on, and I'll show you when I get done. Let's try this thing out. Step on this, it locks the wheel down, brings it up about a 1/4 inch. Let's try this one. Step down. Step down. Step down. Now I have a 200+ pound table, and I can move it around. Isn't that nice? Okay, after a full day, got the table completed. It is a whole bunch bigger. The video doesn't do it justice. This thing is big, and all the fascia is done all the way around. And as you can see, I'm gonna one hand move this 200-pound table around to where I want it, and I can work on it. We're gonna call the benchwork complete. All the 6-inch shelves are on, the 12-foot shelves on, and I've got all my foam down, except for where I'm gonna put the on the front edge, I'm gonna put cork, like everybody suggested, and it's easier to play with, tack down and move around. This thing still moves around pretty easily. I'm pretty satisfied with it, and we're going to call the bench done. Next one, we're going to the risers. See you then.